Hello everyone, and welcome to my room. I'm going to present to you now about my concept design. But first, I bet you guys are wondering, like, what's up with this guy? Like, look what he's wearing. Like, I know this is really rude, so I'm gonna use some YouTube magic to my advantage. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. Whoa! I love YouTube magic, and I'm actually going to talk about YouTube magic. Well, my concept design, it's called Once Upon a Toilet. Yeah, like once upon a time, but toilet instead. And Once Upon a Toilet is a fully interactive, YouTube-based, collaborative film project that I have designed. And it basically seeks to give this project democratic direction in terms of the narrative and creative diversity. And the way we're going to achieve that is by using your help. So we're going to use YouTube users, and they're actually going to write and direct some of the scenes in this film. Once Upon a Toilet operates on the experimental premise of utilizing YouTube's virtually limitless global audience and incorporate that to make the first ever online collaborative film that will be written and directed by the viewers themselves. And how am I going to do that? And how we are going to do that, you might ask? Well, great question. The film will be actually separated or divided into 15 10-minute webisodes, and then we will air like each one like every other week. And the airing of each webisode will last 3 months, and that is the time that it will take to complete the film itself. And the films will have 2 alternative climactic endings. It won't be really the ending, it'll just be the climatic scene, or it won't be the climatic scene, but it'll be like the climax of that webisode. And why do we need 2 alternative climactic scenes? The film also seeks to experiment with the duality, the classic duality of protagonist and antagonist, but we're gonna use it in a different like twist. And I'll come back to this later, but when I explain the narrative. But basically, both of the main characters are protagonists. So the viewer will have the chance to like affiliate himself or herself to one of these. His favorite or her favorite character. And by doing this affiliation, they will be able to help them out. Like, for example, if I like X character, I want them to win the fight on the 3rd season or 3rd webisode of the film. So I can just submit an idea and do that. And now I'm going to explain to you the premise of the story. And before I go any further, let me just say that my target audience is from 15 to 27-ish years. I don't know, I just want to make sure to you that it's not for kids. Okay, got the story right here. Okay, well, the premise is this. Once upon a toilet, there was a janitor. His name was Flint Lucas Jr. But this janitor was no like regular janitor. He wasn't really that old. He was actually 24 years old. And also, he actually went to college, and apparently he had a 2030 on his SATs. Apparently the reason for this is because he actually went to college to be a behavioral psychologist. But then, just like in real life, things really didn't work out like he wanted them to. He went on and he got a really boring job at a retail store that he hated. So he thought, why am I doing this? I want to be a behavioral psychologist. And then something clicked inside him. You know what? I'm going to be an undercover behavioral psychologist, and I'm going to get a job as a janitor to study these social interactions in the development of children within 3rd and 4th grade. And that is what he did. Once he became a janitor, he actually discovered that it was a really tough job, tougher than he actually thought it would be, because he didn't foresee that a gang, that's the word they use in this book, or this group of 3rd graders was actually going to make his life virtually impossible by just making a mess out of the school. Picture it as Home Alone, if Home Alone had happened in a school bathroom, or cafeteria for that matter. So, throughout the days, Flynn has to somehow manage to study or research the social interactions between the kids, but he also has to like Dutch spitballs and I don't know, he's getting like cake thrown in his face or cafeteria pizza, and that's pretty gross. But not everything is horrible in his life. Flint also has a love interest, a Ukrainian lunch lady named Natalia, who, well, apparently things are going sort of well with him. After all, he's a pretty shy, nerdy guy, kind of wimpy like me, and well, we'll see if things will, you know, flourish between the two. So now you're asking, why are these kids so evil? Like, why? Well, it's all a big misunderstanding. Like I said before, they both are self-perceived protagonists. For one hand, Flint thinks he's just a normal dude trying to do his job or his dream job, and he just wants to just do this for the love of science. And on the other hand, we have these third graders who think Flint is a spy or just some evil dude that is like recorded them creepily or just jotting down sketchy things on his sketchbook. So basically, they're just both at war because of a big misunderstanding. Don't you love that when that happens? Well, now that you heard the story, let's talk about how to make this project work, starting with step number 1. And that will be just watch the pilot. In this step, the user or the viewer will just log into YouTube and just interact with the video. The user will interact with the videos in the form of annotations, which will link you from a video to the other alternative ending video. The way it will work is they'll just watch the pilot, and when it comes to the climactic scene, they'll see an annotation right here and the other one over here. And then they'll just have to choose if they want to watch this one and that one. And based on those two, they'll decide which character they like or which one they want to root for. Now, on to step number 2, which involves you and your creative self. And the way you're going to get creative with this is you're actually going to submit what you want it to happen in the next episode. So basically, you just write up a script, a suggestion, anything, just like, I want this to happen, and then we'll make it happen. Where will you submit these ideas? Our website will operate just like the famous reddit.com. In that website, users will have the chance to post their ideas online, and other users will have time and just have them right there to review them and decide if they're worthy of being aired next episode. If they like it, they'll vote it up, and if they don't, they'll vote it down. And then once we have 2 winners, we'll move on to step number 4. Step number 4, you don't really have to do anything. That's what we'll do the job. We'll just basically see who the winners are. You know, we'll pick out a winner from the Flint side and one from the third grader side, and then we'll just implement it as, you know, the alternative climactic endings within the annotation, within the main video, or the video you'll be watching. So to make it a little more clear, I'm going to show you a flowchart of the structure of just a regular show. So, you know, the story would begin and you're like, oh, that's very awesome. And then, you know, before the big climactic event, like, you know, you'll have to choose between which one you want to see. So you can go either with the one that favors Flint or the one that favors third graders. And then each of these, you know, alternative climactic endings will have common conclusions. So they will both converge in this like same scene that will, you know, make sure that the next episode starts from the same like point, so it doesn't like branch out forever and ever. So now, after the 3 months have passed, you know, we're ready for the grand finale, and this is the part that everyone will like. And we're actually going to have 2 premieres. You know, we're going to premiere the 2 versions of the film. You know, they're going to be continuous, so you're going to have like a film being premiered in Los Angeles and one in New York City. And in one of the theaters, we'll show the one in which, you know, the third graders are just the best character ever. They're like, oh yeah, this is awesome. And the other one is where Flint will just be like this intellectual, kick-ass person. So we'll actually, so the way you will be rewarded, we'll fly the winners to these premieres. So, you know, whoever won in the contribution of their ideas will be lucky enough just to walk on the red carpet because, you know, they contribute to this film, so they deserve to be there. So yeah, now that I've laid out the idea for you, do you think you have what it takes to plunge out this idea into existence? Or more importantly, are you in?